Hey y'all, let's get into this review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 11, Episode 15, titled Bahamian Rhapsody. And if you enjoy this review, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. So we start off with Erica Mena, and she's on the phone with her manager, and she's like, "Oh, I have a movie that's gonna change your career." And I'm just thinking, Erica, are you still even filming for that movie or what? Because they acted like they snatched everything from your ass, but the way you running your mouth on the internet right now, it seemed like you gonna be straight regardless, right? But they're back in the Bahamas and they're having fun and they're sightseeing, they're having breakfast, enjoying their vacation. And in her confessional, Rasheeda says that the trip has been a whole lot so far and that they decided to split up the activities since the last time they were all on the boat. It got hectic. And um, said that that some of the problem crew are going to feed the pigs and the peaceful crew are going to go jet skiing. And that I kind of felt like that wasn't a fair exchange. And at first, it looked like it was just all the guys going to go jet ski and then all the girls are going to go feed the pigs. But Karlie and then was with them jet skiing. So, you know. And I guess Rasheeda felt like she wasn't no problem. So she wasn't going to go feed no fucking pigs. But then, and then they said Jessica go feed the pigs. She ain't no problem either, but just there to be her emotional support person for Bambi, I guess. But then Bambi gets on the phone with Erica Mena, and in her confessional, Bambi says that Erica finally calls her back after all of that stuff with Spice, and that it says that this isn't the ideal place to have that conversation, and said that they're getting on another boat, and that everything has been happening so fast, so she doesn't really have a choice but to talk about the situation with Erica. And then Bambi tells her that it's been wild. And Erica says on the phone that she did go in on Spice. And then Bambi specifically asks her if she said that thing about Spice being a monkey. And here Erica go a line saying that she doesn't remember. That's what she's going to stand on. I'm pretty sure her PR person told her, just say you don't remember, you don't remember, you don't remember. Just in case they could possibly be wanting to get your ass for like, literally racial violence and shit. But in her confessional, Bambi says that Spice made some pretty wild accusations and that she understands people blacking out from when getting in heated conversations. But she does have to let Erica know that if she did make that comment when she blacked out, that it isn't okay. I don't like that accusations and when she blacked out because she didn't black the fuck out. It was all real, it was all true, and she meant it. Like, and I really feel like people would respect her more if Eric was just like, yeah, I said that shit and I meant it, and it was wrong and it was fucked up, and I'm not gonna say it again, period. I'm not gonna say it again, but I did say it. Her trying to pretend like she don't know what the fuck she said, she blacked out. It's not working for me. It's not working for anybody, and it's just as fake as that. Oh, they fasted for your ass and prayed for you, like fasting and prayed for Spice. Like no. But then Bambi tells Erica on the phone that she doesn't know what to do with this whole situation. And Erica says that she feels, how do you say, disappointed in herself over it. She literally said that, like that's quote unquote. And then she says that she knows she has an ugly temper, especially when it comes to her kids. And then Sierra tells Erica on the phone that this situation is bad because they keep getting attacked over what the fuck she said. And then in her confessional, Sierra says that as much as she loves Erica, she's going to hold her accountable, and she hopes that Bambi does the same thing because calling someone a black monkey is crossing a line, and that they already have to fight so hard to be accepted in the United States. So you can't just say that to a black person because once you say it to one black person, it's like saying it to all. And that's what she doesn't understand. She literally keeps getting on the internet. She even did it in this clip here, in this episode here, and apologized to everybody else in the community except for Spice. And it's just like, bro, you're still not getting the point. When you say stuff like that to one, you're saying stuff like that to all. And y'all and people of no color will probably be like, well, that's not fair because when the shoe was on the other foot, it's never on the other foot, so let's not even do that. But y'all gonna be like, that's not fair because, she didn't say it to everybody. She only said it to her. It don't matter. What has happened in history is the fact that we continue to be oppressed and everything is rooted in that oppression. So you gotta watch what the fuck you say, and niggas get canceled for that. Point blank period. At the end of the day, it don't matter. It don't matter if she blacked the fuck out, and that's not true. And she gonna keep standing on that, and I don't believe it. But at the end of the day, you can't just go around saying shit like that without any consequences. Point blank period. And that's all Sierra was trying to get her to say. Bambi just was just like, oh well, you blacked out, girl. Okay, well I'm gonna just keep telling everybody that you blacked out. That's literally what it gave. But then Erica apologizes to Bambi and Sierra, and then Bambi tells her that she accepts it and that she won't crucify her. And then her service just goes out on her phone, just right then and there. That's because the universe is trying to tell your ass to take what you said to her back because she can't be forgiven so easily. How do you say you don't remember what you said, but you still don't apologize anyway? That's an oxymoron. Because anybody who doesn't remember what they said wouldn't apologize for something that they don't remember saying. But she knows she said that shit. So that's why she's apologizing. But again, she won't do it to Spice because Spice is the one that violated. Spice is the one that violated, so she says, but she won't apologize to her, but she's going to apologize to everybody else a part of Spice's community. That's still half-assed. That's still not giving. It's not enough. And I know her pride is just like, I won't apologize. I won't apologize. I'm not going to do it. That's good and well, but keep losing that fucking money then, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's your pride. That's your ego. That's getting in the way. And it is what it is at this point. That's exactly what you want to happen. But then Amy asked Bambi, so it was said, like Erica said that, and Bambi says that Erica said that she didn't remember, but she apologized to everybody and that she blacked out and she doesn't know what she said. And in her confessional, Amy says that Erica saying that she blacked out is not flying with her, and it shouldn't. And she says that accountability is what's needed right now, and she wants to know who is the real Erica Mena, and says that she has a lot of questions. Y'all see who the real Erica Mena is. She has showed you right then and there. By calling someone a blue and black monkey, she has showed you who the real Erica Mena is. So don't keep questioning, don't get confused, because she has showed you. But then Bambi says that she's a black woman, she has a responsibility to hold Erica accountable and to shed light. And Sierra says for sure, and to be a part of that accountability, and says that she didn't really know what to do, but they tried to do it on the phone, and that's just is what it is. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. And like I said in my other videos, you don't get to just say you blacked out as an excuse, because that's not going to fly every fucking time. So what happens the next time somebody talk about your kid and you call them a a black monkey? You want to use something a little more creative this time and try and get away with it. And what they need to understand is, like, people like Erica Mena and Evan Lozada, the shit is not going to stop because y'all keep giving them chances. You keep giving them chances for them to show their ass and disrespect black women. I keep telling y'all, the time to stop disrespecting black women is right now. Y'all better get on this shit because it's not going to last for too much longer. We're not going to keep allowing y'all to just, what my mom says this analogy all the time, piss on my foot and call it and tell me it's rain. You're not going to keep doing that. And what I need Bambi to understand is that you had to make it clear to your castmates and to the people watching that you do really hold Erica accountable. I know it's one of them things where, oh, this is reality TV, it's not real, they put it on the front. Yeah. What fucking ever. When y'all on reality TV and y'all job, y'all get paid to throw digs at each other, and y'all always be like, leave the kids out of it, leave the kids out of it. But Safari and leave the kids out of it when he's gifting bitches with Rolexes. So Erica wants to keep blaming the whole situation of what happened with her and Spice is because Safari keeps putting her in situations like that when he did not tell you, call Spice a monkey real quick. He did not whisper in your ear in the middle of you throwing tables and shit and making monkey noises to call Spice a monkey. He did not do that. So for her to keep sitting here saying, oh, she blacked out, she didn't know what the fuck she said, and Safari is the reason for the shit, basically keep blaming him, it's not gonna keep flying. And I need people to understand that the accountability is not just for white people. It's not just for black men. It's for black women as well, and for these women out here who want to date and breed for the black community, but disrespect the very women who help push this shit along. You feel me? And like I said in my last review, and watch that. I'm gonna put the link in the bio to that. Where is Safari? Why hasn't he said anything? I haven't seen anything. And I got Twitter, I got Instagram, I got all of that, and I haven't seen a damn thing of Safari say anything. So y'all want to do a around the table type TED talk type shit about racial slurs and how you don't want to, do that stuff, and how y'all all offended, and y'all got the darkest people in the cast to come and sit down and talk about the shit, but y'all still allowed the shit to air. That's one thing I will agree with Erica on this. And now I'm going to give everybody their due, and I know I'm going off on a little tangent, and I'm supposed to be reviewing the show, but I need y'all to understand that this shit is real. Okay? But I agree with Erica when she's like, well, why would y'all still let the shit air? Or why would y'all not allow her to be a part of the little TED Talk thing? Now, I feel a little iffy about the TED Talk thing, but allowing them to still air the shit, I am kind of like, well, what the fuck was the point if you're gonna fire her later, and then y'all gonna feign like y'all actually care about racial issues and the fact that she just went completely off script. But when it comes to her saying like, oh, she should have been a part of the little TED Talk thing, I don't think so. Because they show later on Yandy tried to talk to her and she had a chance to be remorseful for what she said and she wasn't. So you don't get to come back on and then get a chance to apologize because you made a few statements now. You still are commenting saying that, well, if Spice wouldn't have said what she said, she wouldn't have did what she did. That's not no excuse. You need to be a grown woman and take accountability. But let me get off my tangent. Let's get back to it. So now we're with Erica and we with her nanny and her coonish ass nanny. I've been try to stay away from calling him a coon, but the way he was acting in this episode, it really gave that. And she's just like, she's so happy in her career is going the direction she wants, and that she's been in the industry for so long. And in her confessional, Erica says that um, she's filming her show and having her kids with her is a dream come true. And she lies and tells her nanny that she's been trying to better herself, saying that she's been in therapy and says that she needs it because because dealing with Safari outside having the kids is complicated, and then continues to blame him for how she acted towards Spice. And she says that she's really disappointed in herself for going to that place with Spice. And then she says she can't tell you word for word for what she said. And then the nanny enables her racism, saying that you don't know what you say when you black out. And then she says that her son, the one that Spice was talking about, told her when he was old enough to express that he wanted his own private life. And the nanny was like, yeah, and as you as his mom respected that, and now everybody's trying to push and blame it on you. And I'm just like, girl, you paying that nigga well to tap dance for you. Do you hear me? Because every time he get on that screen, he say exactly what the fuck you want to hear. But then Erica says that up until that point, she really respected Spice, and saying that now her friends are getting ganged up on about what she said and did, and says that she just can rewind. She wishes that she can rewind and watch it. And insert Pussycat Dolls. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. I um in the title famous or something like that, whatever. But then in her confessional, producers ask Erica if she wants to rewatch herself act a plum fool, and she's like, yeah. And then she watches it and she's making shocked faces, and as it's over she closes the laptop and she says yikes. And then she tries to explain in the confessional that you could see that she was out of it, and says that she wholeheartedly apologizes to the incredible Black community and says that it came from a hurt place and that she doesn't want to justify anything, but it came from a hurt place. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. That's not an apology. And again, it don't matter because if you don't regret saying it to Spice, you do not regret it to the community. Point blank. Period. If you cannot apologize to the person that you said it to, you do not regret what you said. It don't matter. So she gonna stand 10 toes down on the fact that Spice said what she said, and she felt like, well, she violated her so bad, she had to get her even worse. But if y'all on a show and y'all getting paid to talk shit, why does it have to get racist? Because that's what you really, really, really believe. But then in her confessional, Erica spews some BS about being sorry for what she said and that she's not proud of it because her kids are Black and she doesn't want her kids to experience that. And then Erica tells her nanny that it came from an ugly place. And in her confessional, she says that she'll be apologizing for a while. And again, I just want to know where Safari is because he's been real quiet and not saying much about this shit. But then we're with Spice, and she tells Shakan and Rennie that she just wants to vibe and have fun today. And then they get off the boat and they do the pigs thing. And Sierra's kind of freaking out. And she kind of saying that the pigs are so cute but aggressive. And in her confessional, Jessica White is on her Peter shit, and she's just not feeling the pigs and saying that they look hungry and that she's kind of just killing the vibe. You know, it would have been a little cute experience, but she's killing the vibe. But then in her confessional, Sierra says that everybody is enjoying themselves, but she felt like it was kind of awkward because Bambi was so standoffish and Spice was on the other side being quiet. So she's trying to see if they can talk. Just a heads up, this talk did not really go that well. Better than the most recent ones, but not that well. In her confessional, Bambi says Sierra pulls her to the side to talk to Spice, and she's like, whatever, let's just see what kind of time she's on today. And Sierra starts off saying that it started off crazy because Spice called them fake and all that shit, and saying that it triggered Bambi, and Bambi agrees, and Spice says, like she said, it was because Bambi was saying, who the fuck are you talking to? And Erica was like, oh wait, she said because Bambi's saying that she didn't talk to Erica, and Spice is like, here she go lying and shit. And Bambi says that she didn't interrogate Erica on what happened. She only told her what she wanted her to know. And Sierra co-signs. And I definitely believe that Erica only told them what they wanted them to know at the time, because why would you tell your Black ass friends that you just called another Black ass acquaintance a black monkey? A blue monkey. Why would she tell them that? So she definitely only told them what she wanted them to know. But it's just the point, like, for Bambi to keep saying, oh, accusations and shit like that. Like, no, that bitch said that shit. As production for the video. You seen shit all over social media. She said it. But then Bambi tells Spice how Erica called them before they got on the boat and then said that she doesn't remember what she said. And Spice is like, so because she's your friend and she gets a pass on calling me a slur. And both Bambi and Sierra say no. And, Spice is like, okay, she just wants to make it clear. That's all I was trying to make clear. But again, I still didn't really believe what Bambi was saying, because she's just kind of like, because I feel like the way she was not trying to really hold Erica accountable is that she's heard Erica call somebody a monkey before. That's the only solution I would have. But then in her confessional, Spice says that she feels like Bambi was lying about not talking to Erica, but now she's saying that they talked before the boat ride, and says that Erica said she didn't remember what she said. So she's like, oh well, she knows what she heard, and the cameras caught it too. So if they want to stick up for her still, then that's on them. Then Spice gets up and says, well, she'll let it go. But then Bambi tells her that she feels like Spice owes her an apology. And Spice says, why? When you're the one who was like, who the fuck are you talking to? And she's like, well, that's supposed to be your friend too. And walks away. And Sierra tells Spice that she's not doing right now and that she needs to sit down. And I'll agree, Spice is too quick to just get up and dip up out of there for real. Spice says that she doesn't want to be angry, or be the angry one, and Bambi just hugs her kinda and just like says it's okay, just to hush her up, and they part ways. And in her confessional, Spice says that as a black woman struggling from Jamaica, making it big in the US, the racial slurs is something that she's dealt with all her life, and that everything was a trigger. And if, they don't want to support her, oh well, she loves herself. Period, boo. And is and do. Fuck them. But then Sierra calls after Spice saying that she can't just walk away though, because Sierra calls after Spice saying that she can't just walk away because they didn't do that to her. And in her confessional, Bambi says that Spice wants her to just disown Erica, and says that she hasn't had a real face to face with her yet, and said that that if she did make the comment, you know oh no, saying that she Bambi herself didn't make the comment, she wasn't there for the comment, so why is Spice inserting her into this situation? Because that's your friend, that's a part of the Type A squad. And like Sierra keeps saying, y'all go 10 toes down for Erica, y'all go 10 toes down for each other. So that's what we're going to automatically assume, period. But then Spice tries to explain in her POV to Jessica White about how Bambi wanted her to apologize, but she can't be mad at her reaction to the situation. And then Jessica tells Spice that Bambi felt attacked, and Spice says that she is Jamaican and darker skin tone. And Jess is getting heated, saying like, "Don't do that, don't do that." And Sierra's like, "Spice, don't do that," basically saying, "Don't play the colorism card," in so many words. And then Spice says that it was because she felt attacked, that's why she reacted. And then Jessica tells her that Bambi told her that she felt attacked, and that's why this is, her first time hearing from Spice, hearing her point of view. And then Spice says her trigger was when Bambi said, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" And she says that, she's sticking by that, and it is what it is. And everybody wants to talk about what happened after Bambi got disrespectful, basically. And then Spice walks away, and Jessica says, Spice walks away being shady, telling Jessica that it's nice to meet her. And Jess says, well, they've met before, and Spice still walks away. And then Jessica says that she has watched Spice these past few days, and she's a fucking complicated human being, and says that it's okay because she's been through a lot. And then tells Sierra that, she needs the sage. Now, Jessica, you've been gone like the past 5 episodes, girl. Don't start coming on here trying to therapize people. And I get it. Spice is complicated. You're all complicated. But don't come in here trying to stick up for Bambi when you don't even know the whole situation, honey. That's her whole thing. Like, get it from beginning to end. But then Rasheeda asks Karlie what's going on with Spice, and she says that she loves her and she's trying to do everything to make up to her, but her energy has been off. And Rasheeda tells her to take it into consideration what Spice has been going through. And then Yandy tells Karlie that she should try to talk to Spice and just be as honest as she can. And Karlie says that she's scared. You's a grown ass woman afraid to talk to Spice. Not because she's aggressive or she's popping off or anything. No, she wouldn't dare say that. But you're afraid to talk to Spice because of what? Because you're doing some shady shit, bruh. You're doing shady shit. And we'll get into that later, because what she did and why Spice really, really popped the fuck off, she's justified in it. Period. And she said she wanted to do it off camera, and she did, but they kept recording her. But in her confessional, Karlie says that Spice has been on edge the whole trip, and that things between them hasn't been very friendly. And she says that she'll be taking a risk approaching Spice, but their relationship means a lot to her, and she doesn't want to go back to Atlanta with this bad blood between them, and that that loving her as a sister will never go away. We'll see about that. But then Yandy tells Karlie to just have a heart to heart and no yelling and all that shit. And Karlie says that she's gone to Spice, so many times, and she's just afraid of rejection now. And now we're with Rasheeda. In her confessional, she says that it's their last night there, and she wants them to experience the native culture in the Bahamas called the Junkanoo, right? And the native dancers come out and they start dancing. And Chaotic tells Amy to dance with him, and he picks her up and air humps her the same way he did Erica Banks all them episodes ago. So I wonder how she feels about seeing that shit. And then Amy talks about how fun the band is. And Scrappy says that the vibes are nice. And in her confessional, Rasheeda gives a little history lesson on the Junkanoo and the celebrations that they have. And it was nice to see the culture, you know. And in her confessional, Sierra says that it's the last night of the Bahamas, and because she's been on her healing journey. And when she said that, I'm like, for the past 2 episodes, okay, everybody want to go here on a healing journey when they go on vacation. Okay, eat, pray, love, hit ass. But she said she thought tonight would be perfect for her to apologize to Scrappy, and that was very womanly of her to do. And she does a little speech about hating to fight with Scrappy, and that she apologizes for doing too much and admits that she had no business being in their business like that. And in her confessional, Sierra says that Scrappy is her bro, and even though Bambi is her girl, she should have stayed out of it. And Scrappy apologizes too. And then they both apologize as adults, and they hug, and everybody applauds them for being adults, you know. And then in his confessional, Scrappy tells Sierra that he appreciates the apology and says that life is too short to keep riding on the BS. And Sierra says that as a group, as a whole, you know, does anyone else have something to say before they leave? And everybody's just looking around at each other, and then Sierra kind of like itches at Spice, asking if she had anything to say. And Spice says in so many words to Bambi, that she apologizes for going off and says that she honestly doesn't remember everything she said. Hint back to Erica. We want to go back to that because yes, if she can use that shit, yes, let's use the same shit with Bambi. Nope, Bam. Sorry, I don't remember everything I said to you. Sorry anyway. Let's gaslight them the same way they gaslight you. But in her confessional, Spice says that she reflected and maybe she overreacted, and says that she honestly felt bad because she is going through a lot, you know, with her divorce, and says that she is way too triggered, you know, with her emotions, and they're going in the wrong way, and that she wants to change to be a better person. This is what Spice is saying. Honestly, Spice, I love you, girl. I can't really admit that I believe the change in, you know, oh, I want to be a peaceful person, I want to be better. She's been through a lot, you know. I'm not going to take that from her. And the gaslighting, it is too much. And she's kind of like, well, you know, this is my second life. So y'all going to sit here gaslighting me. I'm not going to deal with that. I totally, totally understand. But it was just one of the things like, the turnaround ain't going to be that quick. It's not gonna be that quick. But I can't be mad at her because I really feel like all season she just been getting it, getting it, getting it every which way, every which way, and she just ain't caught no fucking break. And towards the end of the season, she just kind of snapped, and I can't be mad at her for real for that. I can't, you know, the popping off, it kind of do be too much sometimes, but I can't be too mad at her. But then Spice explains that she already felt like Sierra and Bambi were on Erica's side, so that's why she reacted the way she did. And she admits that she was wrong. And in her confessional, Yandy says that she's proud of Spice for apologizing, but feels bad for Bambi and all she's going through, and says that maybe Erica wasn't so forthright on the information, and that she didn't know how she would feel telling her black friend that she called a black woman a monkey. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, she was not going to tell her black ass friends that she called another black ass woman that they're cool with a monkey. She's not going to tell them that. And I get where Bambi's coming from. It's like, Spice, don't come at me because I didn't even know specifically what she said, and that Erica only gave them the information that she wanted. But Bambi, you have to understand that, like, if everybody's saying that Erica said this to Spice, you have to believe it. What did Amy say? If 10 people say you're a hoe to Rennie. If 10 people say you stole a song, you stole a song. Period. So, Bambi, you know, let's not do too much. Everybody's a little wrong in this situation. Um, but then, you know, Spice gives Bambi a hug, and they applaud and they hug and all that stuff. And then in her confessional, Bambi says that she appreciates Spice's apology, but at the end of the day, she came out of nowhere with the insults towards her, and she's never done anything to her. So she's going to keep a safe distance, and should, because, you know, Bambi, you're really not to be trusted as much either. So, but, you know, they all party a little bit more, and then Rasheeda and Spice talk, and Rasheeda says that she's proud of her, and Spice is like, yeah, she has to work on herself and let shit go. And then Rasheeda brings up Karlie, confessing some things early, and Spice turns around, she's like, oh Lord, can she just have fun? And Rasheeda's like, Is she pushing? Is she pushing too much? Like, yes, girl, she's not for it. And this is what I'm saying. Spice has gone through some shit this season. Y'all just keep trying to ask her, look, keep getting gaslit, Spice, but keep getting gaslit, keep getting gaslit, keep getting gaslit. Like, at some point, she's gonna want to drag everybody. Like, y'all better play where it's safe. But in her confessional, Spice says she's been trying to avoid Karlie for a long time and says that she just needs genuine people around her that she can trust, and she doesn't feel like Karlie is one of them. And she hates that this Karlie thing keeps following her, and she just wants to forget about it. Not when y'all co-workers, hon. Like, remember how Rasheeda called her Karlie the Karen? It's one of them things where literally she's like, all right, Spice, I'm gonna force you to be friends with me. But Karlie's saying, like, she's trying to give Spice her space, but everybody on this trip is trying to force everyone to kumbaya before they get back to Atlanta. And that's not fair. That's not fair because not everybody's gonna be in space to get rid of that shit, to get over it. But then Rasheeda explains that Karlie was saying that she misses and loves Spice, and Spice says that Karlie has had access to her 24/7, but she's the one who ruined it, so she doesn't know why she's saying she misses her. And then Spice explains how she worries about her kids when she's away, and that she's checked the cameras on her house, and that it was cars and strangers and all kinds of shit out there, and people smoking out outside her house. And then she asked her friend, like, what's going on outside her house, and her friend's like, it's not yours, it's Karlie's. And Spice tells Rasheeda that Karlie must have rented it out for some production because it's some video crew there. And I'm like, oh, it's probably a Tubi movie. Shout out to Tubi. But then Spice says that her kids are home, and with all of that stuff going on, and that she moved away from Karlie to get away from all of that and have a safe space for her kids, for her family. And in her confessional, Spice says seeing all that stuff going on in her house, jeopardizing her kids' privacy, and saying that, she's starting to feel the anger build up in her, and she's trying not to let it get the best of her. And then Rasheeda says that Karlie was saying she hasn't moved into the house, and she has done everything that Spice has asked. And then in her confessional, Spice says that she is tired of people provoking her and trying to get her to deal with Karlie's drama. And she says she doesn't know if she and Karlie's situation can ever be fixed, and she feels like Karlie invaded her privacy. And she gets emotional and says that it's hard digesting that it's coming from someone that she's considered a friend. And then Yandy is trying to get Karlie to get up, you know, and party some. And in her confessional, Karlie says that she was ready to talk to Spice, but now she's feeling reluctant because everybody is apologizing and stuff, and she doesn't want to start nothing, and she wants to end the trip on a peaceful note. And I would commend her for that because she probably wouldn't have meant the shit anyway. And it's like, don't fake the funk. Don't get them to fake apologizing and being okay, like y'all did with Amy and Rennie at the women's empowerment event, and then they blow that shit up later on. Let them, if they want to hash the shit out now, let them do it. If they don't, let them take the shit back to Atlanta. Regardless, it is what it is. They're grown women. They're gonna have to figure the shit out. Um, but then Yandy tells Karlie that, they talked about this, and that she wants her friend back, and that she just doesn't want her to leave there with regrets for missing any opportunities. And then Karlie asks Rasheeda to come over, and Yandy asks if she remembers their conversation on the beach. And she says, yeah. And then Karlie is like, but Spice rejected it, right? And Rasheeda was like, yes. And then just right now is not a good time. And in her confessional, Rasheeda says that Karlie has rented out the house to some random people, and she understands why Spice is so upset about it when it comes to your home. That's where you should feel most safe. And says if they were Karlie, she would stay away from Spice. Now, I guess some people feel like, well, Spice overreacted, but you don't overreact about your comfortability and your safety. If you feel like somebody is following you from house to house, from neighborhood to neighborhood, you don't feel safe regardless. It don't matter if Karlie herself didn't move it in. Bitch, you have somebody occupying that space, and it's making me uncomfortable. And no, and all of this could have been avoided if you didn't move the fuck in, period. That's all Spice is trying to say. But then Rasheeda asked Karlie about the people she has at the house. And Karlie says that they were just there shooting a music video, and that nobody said nothing to her, and says that she has to pay the mortgage on the house, right? Um, Haven says nobody can tell anyone how to live their life after a near death experience. A near death experience can easily take a toll over her even I'm scared of death for. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's like, oh, Spice got a second chance, she got a second chance. But you have people telling her that she should have died on the table. You have people telling her that she needs to react like this and be more peaceful. Like, you cannot tell someone who has almost died how to live their second life. If she feels like she doesn't have time for the tomfoolery and the BS, she don't have time for it. You cannot force her to be okay with that. So if she feel like Bambi is like, who the fuck you talking to? She gonna be like, well, who the fuck you talking to? Like, let's figure this shit out. Spice is basically saying she don't have time for the rah rah fake shit. Point blank period. And I agree with Haven. You cannot tell someone who has almost died how to live their life. Especially if you saying, oh, I pray for you to stay alive, but then you go around saying that you hope they died, that they should have died. That's some evil dark shit. And you can never come back from that. Period. And Erica is evil and fucking dark. And everybody else trying to tell Spice how she needed to live and how she needed to calm the fuck down. No. Y'all need to pipe the fuck up. How about that? Get on her level. And I know people will be like, well, that's not fair, that's not fair. They ain't lived the life that she lived. And she don't trust Karlie no more because of all of the fuck shit that was going on while she was fighting for her life. So for Karlie to sit here and act like she doesn't understand where Spice's issue is coming from is the part that's annoying because you still gaslighting. It's like, oh, you trying to say you don't know why you keep poking the bear, and now the bear want to maul your ass. But in her confessional, Karlie says, so first Spice didn't want her living next to her, and then she didn't move in. But now she can't even rent out her own house to pay the bills. It says that she feels like Spice is using any excuse to be mad at her. No, Karlie, you're choosing to be dense and obtuse and act like you don't know that you're encroaching on this lady's privacy and space. But then Spice tells Shakana that she wants to cuss Karlie out because she's playing the victim and she wants to bust her in the head when the camera stopped rolling. And Shakana is like, you better not, you big dummy. And I ain't gonna lie to you, she should have listened. You should have waited until all the cameras had shut the fuck down. Every single one was off, the red light was off, everything. But and I'm like, yeah, Spice is just trying to knock everybody down, and she's just like they trying to dance around everything, and she just don't have time for the shit. Um Haven says, when I saw Spice going off on Karlie in the final episode, I heard my mom say, Spice gonna catch a heart attack. I know! I know! It's one of them things where it's like, look, Spice, look, girl, you was just on the table. You keep getting sliced up and shit. What is going on? You cannot be out here trying to knock if you buck on these people. So I definitely understand what your mom meant. I'm like, Spice Girl, you have to take care of that health. You cannot be out here doing this. But in her confessional, Rasheeda says that life is crazy right now, and if all goes planned, the bistro will be popping off, and she just wants to enjoy positive relationships with everybody. And basically, they just going down the list of what everybody has in store for themselves. Yandy says, this has been the first year for the restaurant. It's been good, and she and her husband, have been married for 7 years now. She's looking forward to the future. Um, Haven says, and I'm nodding my head at her like, girl, what about her kids though? Do your kids mean anything? And I understand that too. I really do. It's one of them things like Spice's kids are younger. You know what I'm saying? Like they in middle school, high school type, something like that. So they don't need to be seeing niggas outside smoking, drinking, and partying, and fucking, and all this shit. Like I said, they probably filming the Tubi movie. You feel me? And I get what Spice is saying. She moved away so she could have peace, and she said this in the first few episodes of the season when she found out that Karlie had moved to that house next to her. She's like, Karlie is always having parties outside, and there's always a lot of shit going on, and she's just not trying to be around that. And people were just like, oh, Spice overreacting. No, because she turned around and did the exact same thing Spice was afraid of while Spice ain't there. While she is with Spice out the country and her kids are alone. Karlie knew that the niggas was gonna be at the house. She rented it out for a reason. At that time, she already knew. But the whole time she's there at the Bahamas, she's like, I'm just here to have fun. And she was just real, real quiet. She was too quiet. And now it makes sense because she had that shit going on in Atlanta with Spice's kids there. Spice is there out the country with her, so she really couldn't be able to handle the situation and keep her kids safe. It's one of the things where Karlie just don't really care about like anybody else's space or well being or just thoughtful enough. You feel me? But to continue with the notes, like I said, they were just going down, talking to people about what they had planned after the trip. And Sierra is just like, she's just healing from being married and divorced, and it's a lot. And she's just glad that she made it through. Spice says that she went through hell and back, and after her second life is giving her a spirit that she can't deal with any fakeness, and she's learning to be a better person because she's still a work in progress. And then in her confessional, Karlie says that this year she's had so many highs and lows, but she needs to get back to Karlie, and says that she and Spice have been friends for 6 years, but time will tell, and she's going to give her space. And in her confessional, Amy says that what's next for her is her career, and she's not letting anything stop her music. In her confessional, Rennie says the truth has been refreshing, and she's optimistic to go back to Atlanta, but she needs to face her feelings and not run from them. In her confessional, Jess says that after everything she's been through, going through love and coming out of mental and emotional and her physical health, she loves herself and she's never felt better. And she's praying that God will send her man so she can have her baby. Period, girl. But in her confessional, Bambi says that she has a lot of preparing to do with the divorce coming up, and she's hoping that Scrappy and her can be peaceful, in that she's ready to say adios to the Bahamas because she just did not enjoy her fucking trip. And then, as the cameras faded out, right, and the screen went black, you heard commotion in the background. You heard Bambi say, "What the fuck?" And then you hear Shekinah's voice, and Spice is going off, and then you see Jessica White making a face, a cringy ass face. And Amy is like, "Well, what the hell just happened?" And Spice is cussing somebody out, and Kirk is trying to get her to calm the fuck down. And in her confessional, Karlie says the fact that someone she felt was a sister would do that to her is crazy because she said nothing to Spice, and that it doesn't make any sense, and she just doesn't know who she is. Okay. Haven says, "Can somebody have men outside invading the street disrupting your kids' safety can irritate you to where you want to bust somebody in the head now?" I never seen that before. Like, it's really one of them things where people like to pick and choose what's comfortable for somebody, I'm pretty sure Karlie was just like, "Oh, Spice not gonna have no problem. She's not there. She won't be annoyed with the guys being outside. It's okay." But she didn't think about the fact that Spice had whole kids at home with all this commotion going on. Granted, Karlie doesn't know what's going on in Spice's house, but she could have reached out and was like, "Hey, Spice, it's gonna be busy as shit outside around the house this week. You know, um, I hope it's not gonna be too much of a problem, this, that, and the third." Karlie's excuse is that she gotta pay the mortgage somehow. You shouldn't have got the shit. Cause didn't Spice say that you made the lady who sold you the house sign an NDA? Like, you just really want to be up under that lady. I'm asking you, would you do the same thing as Spice if someone did that to you? Like I said, I don't have any kids, but if I did, I probably would too. Cause it's like it's the same thing as if she would have went outside the house. If Spice was there with her kids or all that stuff going on, right? It's the same thing as if she would have went across the street, and if Karlie was there and she would have want to fight her because she like, "Bitch, what's all this shit going on? What's all this commotion out here? My kids is inside. My kids is in the house trying to sleep, get rest, get ready for school." So it's the same. So I really feel like, maybe I wouldn't have wanted to bust her in her head, but I probably would have just been like, "Girl, what the fuck is the issue?" Because my thing is whatever's going on with Spice and Karlie is something much deeper than just some dudes being outside and all that stuff. Like, maybe Karlie really did sleep with Spice, man. I don't know what's going on, because the way Spice cannot stand Karlie is something a lot deeper than just some people being outside. I would have pulled Karlie to the side and was just like, "What's going on? Why do you have these people out here?" But I probably wouldn't have wanted to fight her. And I'll agree that Spice is just she been a little firecracker. You know, she want to lay hands, but she can't do that. Haven, she can't do that. Like her body, she has to heal. And maybe she's feeling better, and she's like, all right, now I can whip some ass. But she was just, she could barely even twerk the first few episodes of the season. Like, so she can't be ready to be ass right now. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely would have had to pull her to the side and said, like, what is this? Why are you playing in my face? Um, but back to the notes, as Spice is yelling and ready to fight Karlie because of all the stuff with the kids. She's walking away and telling them to stop rolling. And in her confessional, Spice says she doesn't want to talk about Karlie, and she doesn't want people to even, and she doesn't think people even understands that every time she loves a friend, they betray her. And then production asks what Karlie has done to betray her so they can really understand. And Spice says that she doesn't want to talk about it, and that she'll leave Karlie to play the victim. Um, Haven says, "Do you think Spice touched Karlie?" Because the cameras came back from being in the sky on Spice going off. Spice says when the camera stopped rolling. That's what I said. That's why I was like, Spice should have waited to lay her hands on Karlie after they turned all the cameras off. They was packing the shit up, putting it in the bag, all that stuff. But I don't know because they never made it specific, like 100% clear that Spice actually put her hands on Karlie. So I don't think she did. I think it was one of the things where she was trying to and they stopped her. But Spice did say that she wanted to lay her hands. So I think she really would have if she didn't get stopped, but I don't think she did. Um, Now, about Spice saying that she'll just leave Karlie to play the victim in the confessional. And I was just kind of like, that ain't fair, Spice. We want to know why you hate this girl because the way you just do not like Karlie, like, what did she do? What did she do that make you hate her so damn bad? My bad, y'all. The connection getting a little crazy. I'm gonna try and finish this up. But Spice is going off saying that she moved, that Karlie moved next to her just to spite her, and saying that she's just been a good friend of Karlie, just going off saying that she's been such a good friend of Karlie and that she's just doing everything to spite her. And, this is how Karlie repays her, and Karlie's just looking dumb. Like, what is Spice even talking about? And in his confessional, Kirk says that, he and his wife are cool with both Spice and Karlie, but he knows Spice has been through a lot, and saying that you touching other people in places where you have loitering and stuff going on outside where people's kids live and where they have to sleep and play. He says that doesn't sit right with him, and he doesn't think Spice is out of pocket. And again, I don't think anybody would disagree with the fact that Spice was upset with the fact that Karlie got all this shit going on outside her house. I think it was just the delivery. It's literally just always about the delivery. But then Spice tells Karlie that she's a fucked up individual, just keep still going in, just getting in her butt. And in her confessional, Shekinah says that the reason Spice went off on Karlie is because she likes to do things behind people's back and that she's good at hiding her hand and playing the victim. And then Spice goes off on Karlie while everybody just watches and listens, watches her get her ass chewed up. And then when everybody and Spice is saying that when everybody was calling her messy, asking her why she even friends with Karlie, saying that she couldn't rap or sing, she was giving her songs and saying, being her friend and just sticking up for her. And she was just like, this is how Karlie repays her. And Jessica just puts her arms around Karlie, and Bambi just she kind of just rubs Karlie's arm or whatever. And she's saying like she don't have the energy to argue like that. And then that's another thing. Spice be going off. Like she got more energy to argue than anybody. And that might just be a Caribbean thing for real, for real. Like I think it's just a Caribbean thing. Like they can go ham. And then Yandy says that she feels so horrible and she never would have thought in a million years that it would have turned out like that. And I'm sorry, but Yandy, all season you've been feeling so bad for how shit has turned out, trying to get people to kumbaya. Remember what happened with Amy and Rennie, and now this. So it was gonna turn out whatever for real, whether you helped or not. But in her confessional, Jessica says that she put her arms around Karlie because she felt like Karlie needed someone to stand behind her and ask, why are they as black women attacking each other? And then Bambi goes to rub Karlie's arm, and Jessica says that that it's just horrible. And then she tells Spice, and then the producers tell Spice not to touch the cameras. Um, Haven says Spice spoke some sense into Karlie, turned up as fillers. My favorite Leo, and is she did. And again, people probably just don't like Spice's delivery, but what she said wasn't wrong. And anybody with kids would say the same thing. Why you going out on vacation, but you renting your house to a whole bunch of people who are going to disrupt my kid's life when I'm not there? You feel me? Like, she said nothing wrong. She didn't say nothing wrong. It was just her delivery. But then Spice get real pissed, calling Karlie an evil witch, and she meant that shit from her soul. Do you hear me? But in her confessional, Spice says that she doesn't think anyone will understand um what it's like having a friend and the joy of buying a home, and then they go behind her back and buys a house next door to her and not tell her. And she wanted Karlie to just look at her face and tell her that she didn't care about buying a house, that she didn't care, that she basically invaded her privacy, and she just wants to know why she would do that to her. And then Spice asks Kirk to tell her the truth if she thinks that she's crazy, and Kirk doesn't really answer the question, but then tells Spice that she is headed up and she needs to stay away from things that's going to pull her down. And then in his confessional, Kirk says that he's trying to tell Spice to be careful and to park the Spice who wants to whoop ass and to enjoy the ride to the top. Spice says that she's gonna leave it to God and let it go because it's crazy. And in her confessional, Spice says that she has to find a way to stop going from 0 to 100 because she can't be doing that. And it's like, yes, girl, because every other scene you're trying to whip some ass at this point. But then they hold hands and pray. Oof. And then they fast forward to September of this year, like a few weeks ago, 2023, and the cast sits down in front of the green screens, and the producers ask them how they felt and stuff after they saw the episode of Erica and the racial slur, and asked them what they were thinking. Kirk says that watching it live and hearing Erica make the sounds, you just felt it. And then Karlie says that it was really upsetting to her watching that. And then Rasheeda says to her it turned from a one-on-one to a one on the culture. And then Yandy says, um, for Erica's first go-to in anger to is outrage and not a racial slur. Yandy basically saying when she arguing with somebody, her first go-to in outrage isn't to call somebody monkeys and shit. For most people, it's not, unless you're a fucking racist. Like, okay. And then the producers finally asked Spice what she like to say anything about the episode, and she's like, she doesn't want to get emotional, and she doesn't know why she had to do this, and she starts to tear up. And let me just ask y'all before I finish this review, do y'all want me to review the hour-long sit-down that they did afterwards? Do y'all want me to talk about it? Because I wasn't really going to, but I keep seeing clips circulating around, and I feel like maybe I should. So if you want me to review it, let me know in the comments. But as they show comments from people online saying that Erica was wrong for what she said to Spice, and Spice was wrong for what she said to Erica, Spice is saying in the background that it's just not about her, and that Erica came for an entire race, and that the slur is over 100 years older than her, and that it's just deeply rooted into Black history and how they used to dehumanize us. My bad, y'all. I've been doing this for like 2 hours. I'm out dry. And then Spice says that it's okay to say that she was wrong for what she said to Erica, but it's a whole different thing when someone else's response is to be racist or come for Black women and dehumanize them. Period. That's all we saying. When you packing on somebody, you don't just start calling them monkeys right away. Like, you don't do that unless you really just feel like, oh, you's a monkey and I hate your ass. And that's exactly what Erica felt. And everybody's just like, oh, I can't believe it. Don't be surprised. She's been showing y'all that she's a colorist and a racist all this time. Look at Evelyn Lozada and Bravo and Shawnee O'Neal. Just keep giving her ass a chance to keep coming back and disrespect Black women. I'm getting tired of the shit, for real, for real. But then Kirk says that he saw a comment saying that Spice went low, but Erica went to hell, and he says that that was a perfect way to describe the whole situation. And says that it makes you feel disgusted, and that Erica needs to make amends and do her history and research because what she's saying was extremely bad. And then Karlie says that she doesn't feel that there's a difference between using a racial slur and being a racist. Um, but I noticed that at this time, Karlie hadn't looked at the camera just yet. And for me, that just made me feel like, Karlie, you done said some shit too. That's why you feeling a little guilty, but it's all right. You not on the hot seat today. Today. And then Sierra says that she listened to her great grandparents tell stories about being called them slurs. And Yandy says that after the Bahamas, she personally wanted to speak to Erica um, to get her to basically, she said in her mind, to educate Erica on the history behind calling people of African descent a monkey. And before we get into the altercation, I'm over the whole educating ignorant people on why they should stop being ignorant and racist. Bitch, you got a phone, you got thumbs. Check that Google. You already know that this shit is fucked up, but you continue to do it anyway. Hundreds of thousands, millions of people do this shit anyway, all day, every day, because they can. It's rooted in everything that we do. But see, when that bag started to get hit, that's when her ass is going to realize, well, damn, maybe I really, really did fucked up. Like Kirk said, people are being held accountable for this shit now. You don't get to just say it no more, you know? But I'm over the whole teaching people to stop being ignorant and racist. You know that shit's fucked up and you're continuing to do it anyway. I'm not going to teach you a damn fucking thing, period. But then Yandy says that the first time she saw Erica was at Bambi's divorce party, and says that if Erica would have given a sincere, remorseful apology, she would have gone back for her and fight for her because she thinks that it could have been a teaching moment for her. She doesn't want to teach. Yandy, don't waste your time. I mean, she doesn't want to learn. So don't waste your time teaching someone who doesn't want to learn anything because she does not feel like she was wrong. She does not feel like she's remorseful. Even now, Bambi and Erica, after they aired the episode of them sitting down talking about the shit or whatever, Bambi and Erica are in the comments talking about, that's interesting. Why didn't they let her be a part of it? Because they're going to show you in these clips, or when Yandy went to talk to your ass, you were not remorseful. That was your opportunity. That was your chance to be like, yeah, I fucked up. You had even more opportunities before that, and you still kept saying you stand on what you said, and you would violate her again. So I'm not going to keep trying to teach you shit. But Yandy tries to explain to Erica that she was offended by what she said to Spice, and here go Erica telling her the very thing that would have gotten that lace front yanked off her fucking head. She tells Yandy that she was offended because she chose to be offended. That is top tier gaslighting. You don't get to say some crunchy shit to me and then be like, oh, well, you just decided to be upset by what I said. No, bitch, your intention was to make me upset by what you said. Do not play in my fucking face. And that is Erica's issue. She think they dumb. She think they all dumb black monkeys and they don't know shit. If she really wanted to, she would have called Yandy a black monkey right there in her face. But she knew fucking better because they would have dropped her ass. But she only tried Spice because she felt like Spice was weak. And honestly, I feel like because she thinks that Safari has a thing for Spice, and that's why she came at her like that. That's why I feel like Erica really, really came at Spice like that. If you talking about you pray for this lady, my bad, y'all. That's music outside. But if Erica's like, oh, she prayed for this lady and all of this stuff, you don't tell this person that you hope they died, and you don't throw tables at them when you know that they was just in surgery and shit. So she didn't give a fuck. She didn't black out. She just didn't give a fuck. Um, but Erica tells Yandy that she knows her and that nobody's going to violate her using her children, and that there's no boundaries at that point. And Yandy says Erica just wasn't very receptive to what she had to say, and she wanted Erica to just say she's sorry. And then they show Erica yelling at Yandy, telling Yandy that it was wrong, yes, but at the same time, how dare Spice cross the line like that? And then Rasheeda's just shaking her head like she cannot believe Erica's saying this shit. And Erica's just like she would do it all over again if Spice did it all over again. And Yandy asked Erica, so she would say the same thing all over again. And Erica's like, no, she didn't say that. She just means if she has to violate Spice for talking about her kids, then she will. And Yandy's just shaking her head. and said that Erica was on the defense and she's on and that she is another sister that wasn't educated and she doesn't know. She not my sister. She not my fucking sister. She's not coming to the cookout. She not even allowed to sit on the fucking sidewalk. Bitch, you stay in your house. Or you go to McDonald's, go to the drive-thru. You don't get to eat over here. You're not my fucking sister. Because you don't get to continue to be a sister after you called me a monkey. Nope. Because you called me a monkey, you was calling everybody a monkey. So Yandy, fix that. Damn, I ain't even know I'm in an hour yet, y'all. My bad. Um, but yeah, you ain't no fucking sister over here. But then Erica does the typical, I got black kids, I married a black man, I'm Dominican, yada yada. There's not a racist bone in her body, and she's saying that she's probably just as black as most of them. And Yandy says that she was just super disturbed. If somebody has to say, I'm black this, I got black that, they ain't black. I say this quote to my mom all the time. A king does not go around saying he's a king. I think I got that shit from Game of Thrones. That's my shit. A king does not go around saying that he's a fucking king. Period. And her going around saying, well, I'm almost black and I got black kids and I married them. It don't matter. You can do all of that and still not like black women. Because you talking about the black men that you with, the black kids you have. But you yourself are not a black woman. You can still hate the black race and take from them. White people do it all the time. But Yandy says that Erica, being a mother of two black children, will quickly learn how this world treats people of color with darker skin and that colorism is a real thing and she doesn't want to be a person who further divides that. But y'all are allowing Erica to do such. Y'all are allowing Evelyn Zada to do such. Y'all allow all these people to do that shit. And I'm not even talking about just women of no color. I'm talking about even other black women who spew this fucked up shit. Black men who do this shit. Them passport bros and them niggas with the podcast. Listen to my podcast. Y'all should listen to my podcast over that shit. Since, everybody get to just run a fucking mouth now. But then they show articles of Erica being fired from the show, and then Rasheeda says that when you step across the line, you have to deal with it. And Kirk says that the way the world is now, they will cancel you for being racist, and it's only fair. And then Sierra says that Erica shouldn't have been making any monkey sounds to a black person, period. And then Spice says that, they aren't going to accept it and that it's wrong. And Yandy says that they need to start having those conversations so lines aren't blurred and people aren't confused. And again, she was never confused. She just didn't think that she would get called out for it. And then they showed that whack ass round the table conversation of some of the cast. But again, y'all should have talked about it before any of this aired. Y'all should have been like, look, Erica said some out of pocket shit in the episode that's coming up. We sorry, but we still gonna air it anyway. Y'all should have just been upfront about that, in my opinion. But that was the end of that episode. And somebody let me know, was that the season finale? I don't really think that was the season finale because that feels like this season was too short. But I keep hearing and seeing people say, "Oh, it was the season finale." So y'all let me know because I'm not 100% sure. But let me know if you want me to do a review about that little roundtable talk thing that they did. Because the clips I keep seeing, it was some interesting points about Yandy saying that, when she goes to get licenses and stuff, she has a white woman on her team to go and she sends her to go do that shit because it's you get the shit done faster. That's what you call using your resources. You hear me? Haven says Spice would have dropped Erica's ass. That's what I'm saying. Wait until Spice gets fully healed, or her hernias are gone and stuff like that. Wait till she get fully healed, and then bitches need to get back in the ring, because Erica tried to get her, catch her off guard. Okay, she got in some unfair licks, and they need to be able to run that back because none of that shit was fair. I don't understand it, and I don't understand how they feel like people want to sit around and watch them talk about this shit now when y'all done already profited off of Erica embarrassing Spice like this. So many people have, and that's what y'all gonna continue to do because y'all that's just the culture right now, for real, for real. But that is this review. It was an extra long review. for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 11, episode 15, titled Bahamian Rhapsody. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, Haven, for chatting with me, girl. I really appreciate it. And I will see y'all on the next one.